Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is another Time Wonderland update. In this video, we are going to discuss the recent AMA between Yieldchad and Zoli, which are the upcoming prospect to be our new treasury management. So let's take a deep dive. But before we do so, if you are new to the channel, this is Study Crypto, where we discuss all things crypto. If you want the latest news, please make sure to subscribe. Also, if you like this content, give this video a thumbs up as it really helps us out our algorithm. Finally, any questions, concerns you have, please make sure to leave them down below in the comment. So let's get right into it. I just had an AMA with Yieldchad and Zoli. So just to lay out the main differences between both of them, Yieldchad focus on pretty much having better security, multi-sig security, the treasury, marketing, and how to get us out of this whole crypto slump. Zoli is focused on taking Time Wonderland in a whole nother direction. He wants to take Time Wonderland into a actual company to get out of the actual crypto space and become a legal structure, in hopes that it will pretty much help us out in the future. Because according to his vision, he pretty much sees that crypto will eventually go into all these regulations. So his goal is to pretty much set up a corporation so that we could invest in other assets and be an actual legal structure. At the end of my video, I'll give my thoughts on who I prefer to go with. But for right now, let's take a deep dive into these guys and what they have to offer. So first things first, the AMA was really interesting. A lot of questions were answered. The real interesting part is that Zoli doesn't really speak too much. He's real quiet. He seems to be real reserved. Meanwhile, Yieldchad was pretty much on point. Yieldchad just came more prepared overall. I mean, he answered every single question to the T. Meanwhile, Zoli kind of just gave a quick 1 or 2 word answer. At certain points it did seem like he was a little bit unprepared, but then again, it could just have also been the audio or maybe just him. I'm not really sure what was going on with that. This right here is Zoli. His scope is to decide the future of Wonderland fully or just partially crypto. His objective, the goal of this proposal is to take Wonderland to the real world by establishing a company, invest Wonderland part of the treasury to change from yield farming to venture capital fund. And high level overview, the European Union is planning to create laws to regulate the crypto market, including a law that requires to attach the name of every crypto transaction. China already banned all crypto transactions. 54 of the compounding capacity disappeared on Bitcoin and network in one day. This will be the end of the crypto in the Wild Wild West. It probably will be the end of anonymity too. And with regulations, rug pulls will definitely have consequences. So my goal is to overtake this by starting the compliance before laws require it. This will be a huge advantage for us in the future. And then he also provides details. You can come on and you can read this, but I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you pretty much an overview, which, like stated before, he's pretty much just looking to just avoid all the hurdles, if they even do come in the future, by just creating a legal structure and having us become a venture capitalist firm where we go out and we pretty much invest in other assets or other ventures and things of that nature. One of the things he was talking about was he was discussing with BestSwap SGG to pretty much create some type of like a poker tournament, and then we could invest in that. So it was really interesting just to hear their perspective. Of course, we see it on paper and we see it right here on the website, but it's really interesting just to hear from the actual individuals themselves. Now let's go over to Yieldchad. Yieldchad, like I said, in my opinion, just seems to be a lot more polished. His scope is potential for Yieldchad to become treasury management, including the structure of his role, his goal for Wonderland, proposed ventures, tenure, and compensation. His objective is to finalize the proposal for Yieldchad's candidacy for TM, provide a high-level overview. Yieldchad have proposed to the DAO to serve as a treasury manager. There are a number of outstanding questions regarding how I would serve in the role that need to be resolved. I will propose a solution and request comment for the community in order to finalize the proposal for WIP to discuss. He gives his background. You know, he's been in 5 years in the European real estate private equity, part of a team managing around euro 1.5 billion. His job is to look at all aspects of the property market and buy and manage the best risk adjusted yield. He left 2 years ago to attend MBA. He started trading crypto and developed quant strategies pretty much full time for the past 1.5 years. Currently managing a small fund focusing on market neutral returns. And then he also states why he's running. Pretty much he states that he sees all of the issues with Wonderland, but he's still, happy with what Wonderland has done. And he also lays out his compensation and so on. So Who do I decide that I want to go with? Personally, I'll just let you guys know right off the bat, my vote is Yieldchad. I mean, just look at everything he came prepared with. He came prepared with his whole background. He also manages funds right now in crypto, and he wants to stay in crypto. I'm really not for Zoli, and the reason why I say that is because Zoli is focusing on taking Wonderland out of the whole crypto world and going into a legal structure. And I think a lot of individuals are underestimating how complicated and complex that will be, just as far as like having a board of directors, legalities, structures, where you're going to set up the company, who's going to be on the documentation, how will it even run as a DAO when you have only one person on the documentation, what happens when a new treasury management comes on, you have to now transfer this ownership of this company, you pretty much have to have legal fees, you're going to have lawyers, you're going to have to file taxes, you know, what's going to happen to us, the individuals that are in Time Wonderland, do we now have to KYC? It brings up so many questions that for that reason, I personally think it doesn't really help us out now. I think the problem is that I find with Zoli is that he is pretty much looking for a new avenue for Time Wonderland, to diversify Time Wonderland so that we can go into this avenue. But my issue with that is that it doesn't solve the problem right now, which is that we need to see more value in Wonderland so that more investors could come in and invest in the company, right? The price has pretty much been stagnant for quite some time now. We took a major hit. How do we bring that price point back up? Yes, we are in a bear market, but how do we build, especially now, so that whenever we get out of this bear market and go into a bull market, people want to invest in Wonderland? And I feel like by just saying, hey, we're going to become a legal structure, that does not really solve anything. Plus, let's look at the world markets. Right now, everything seems to be uncertain. So you become a legal structure, you're going to invest in these other companies. What about the markets? What about the world markets? You know, now you're investing in companies that obviously are susceptible to risk going on and what's going on with the economy. So that could also affect us and make us get wrecked as well. I feel like right now we're in a good place with crypto. There's a lot of anonymity. There's also a lot of things that we don't really have to do the right proper rate as if we were a legal structure, because it's still just crypto. It kind of is sort of the Wild West, but that also gives us that leeway to go into different avenues and do certain things that we could not have done if we were a legal structure. So my vote is for Yieldchad because I feel like he's been in crypto. He knows what he's doing. He seems to have a solid resume, and I want to see him bring up the value of Time Wonderland as opposed to just say, hey, you know, let's just become a legal structure and let's figure it out from there. And like I said, Zoli to me just doesn't have a complete plan. If he came more prepared, if he had an actual plan, I think I'll be more on board, because it does seem like an interesting point. But like I said, he's just saying, let's just become a legal structure and that's it. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on what's going on. This is your Time Wonderland update for this week. Thank you. Have a good weekend and see you next time.